Hey, everybody. Charles Cook, founding partner here at Cook Baxter. It's great to be with you today. Today is in English. Hoy día está en inglés. So we're going to be doing all English today. And welcome everybody to our live. And if you're watching on delay or on YouTube later, hello. By the way, you can always email me with any questions that you have after watching this live. You can reach me really quite easily at ccook@immigration.net. I always answer all my own emails. I don't have anybody answering these for me. So if you have questions that you don't get answered here, although I do try to answer every single question that comes up in a comment, you can email me later. And I always, if it's a pretty easy question, I'll answer it. Sometimes those questions are deep and need a consult. And if you just want to make a consult with me, you just call 404-816-8611. In any event, I hope you liked our new intro video. I told my one of my guys here, we need an intro video. We need to do something of, not music necessarily, because the music sounded weird, but nonetheless, welcome. Today we've got 4 main topics that I want to talk about, but the first is the most hilarious and the most so typically Trumpian, the new USCIS memo on anti-American activities. And you're saying, what? What's anti-American? Is it 1954 again? Is the Army going to go in front of McCarthy and have hearings? By the way, if you don't know what the McCarthy hearings are about anti-American activities, you should Google it. Joe McCarthy was an infamous senator who ultimately was disgraced. And the lawyer, just so you know, the lawyer that was principally working with Senator Joe McCarthy was Roy Cohn, who became Donald Trump's muse. His mentor and his muse until he himself was disgraced in the early 1980s. But 1954, anti-American McCarthy hearings. Let me show you this. This is the, let me share my screen here. This is the new anti-American memo from the USCIS. And this memo is telling everybody when you apply for what they call certain benefits where discretion is required, which is basically, for example, your green card application, your national interest waiver, parole, deferred action like DACA, anytime where they have to exercise discretion, which is unreviewable by the courts, they are going to consider as an additional factor anything relating to your past requests, adjudication. What they're going to request here is this. Anti-American activity will be viewed in that vetting and be an overwhelmingly negative discretionary. Now, what is anti-immigration, anti-American, not anti-American, they're anti-immigration, which by definition is anti-American, by the way. So literally the clown who put this out there, Matthew Traskazar, who is the spokesperson for the USCIS, whose previous claim to fame is he worked for the 2 main anti-immigration groups, FAIR and the Heritage Foundation, as their spokesperson after his graduation from college in 2017. Here it is. Americans should not go to despise the country and promote anti-American ideologies. What are those? Okay, well, let's see. Additional guides has endorsed, promoted, supported, otherwise espoused the views of a terrorist organization or group. They're talking about Hamas, by the way, including those for ideology, activities, terrorists. I mean, basically anything they might say, oh my gosh, you don't love America, right? This is so nebulous and honestly quite a violation of the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. That when they do use this as a discretionary ground, if you're denied on this basis because of something perhaps you put on social media or, I don't know, your Twitter account, like my Twitter account, and this is something you need to be aware of. Now, by the way, this also applies in the EB-5 context. The discretion on national fraud. So this is a crazy new memo without any basis in reality. Now, what's going to happen is the next time a rational president comes in and says, this is garbage, they're going to, you were promoting anti-American activity. This is the joke that this administration is. These guys are a joke. Unfortunately, they have the power, so their joke is funny, but will one day be tossed out. So just understand, don't engage in anti-American activity. Now, so that's their memo, but they also have one on social media. Social media they're talking about. Let's take a look at their social media vetting that they came out with. Now, this came out in April, but somebody asked me to talk about it, and I did talk about it then, and somebody asked me to address it on this issue. So here's what immigration's saying. Because they will enforce all relevant immigration to the maximum degree, including all those who support blah, 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 blah. So what they're doing is they're looking on your social media. They're going to look on your social media for anti-Semitism information, and then they're also going to look for your on anti-American activity, which appear to be the exact same thing. They really are not very smart. These people aren't smart. They aren't. These are not A students in college. Because if you were paying attention to college, you wouldn't be supporting this garbage. So just understand, if you have to have a social media account because you feel it's important in your life, put up pictures of cats or something until you're a citizen. When you're a citizen, you say whatever you want to. Before you're a citizen, pictures of cats. I'm not a big cat fan. Dogs. Put your picture of your dog or your kids, and that way you're just fine. By the way, if you are in fact married to a citizen getting a green card through marriage, you better have pictures of your wife on social media or your husband if you have social media. If you don't have social media, perfectly fine. You don't have to. Frankly, your life is probably better for not having social media. So there you go. That's the crazy stuff from CIS on those two issues. Now, the next thing that's really even more insane is the Immigration Service's new rule, which came out last Friday, on good moral character, which you've always had to show good moral character to naturalize. But good moral character is really defined by statute and typically limited in time to a 5-year period prior to the time of the application. So, for example, you're naturalizing, you have to have a 5-year period of good moral character, which means you can't have any criminal convictions, you can't have any arrests. You can have arrests, but you don't want arrests. You're going to wait to 5 years. But generally, at the 5-year mark, they didn't look back beyond that. They're telling you now, well, they're going to look at the entire time, not only that you've been a resident, not that you've been a resident of the United States before you naturalize, but they're also going to do this. They're going to look at your contributions to America for purposes of citizenship. Now, this is truly and amazingly utter nonsense. Not sure Donald Trump's grandfather, who ran a brothel, would have qualified under this category to become a U.S. citizen. So they're going to look at, for example, besides there's no disqualifying conduct, a more holistic evaluation. What positive contributions have you made? Now, there is no legal basis for this garbage. There's no legal basis for this. If they deny you because you didn't make positive contributions to your community, you call me, we'll go to federal court, and we'll get you approved. This is utter and complete nonsense. But if you're applying for naturalization now, beyond the normal documentation requirements, we're going to recommend that you include certain things. So we have a recommendation here. For example, we have historically included 1 year of tax returns. Include all 5 years of tax returns and make sure your tax returns are accurate. Like, don't listen to Uncle Morty who does tax returns and gets you a big refund. You want to make sure that the tax returns are completely above board. If you've got a business or your professional license, you want to include that. If you're involved in your community, and maybe you should, you volunteer at your school, you're a PTA parent, you belong to your local mosque and you assist in feeding the poor, you have a community organization that you work with to help the elderly get fed. You want to put that. If you have, if your mom or you have medical issues, you want to include those, or you help people. You have custody and guardianship of a homeless child. You want to put that in there. You want to put your education. What work have you done under education to forward yourself in the United States? We're going to suggest you get 3 or 4 letters from people saying, now before people would ask me if they should get that, I said, no, you don't need that. It's not required, but now they want it. So you want to get 3 or 4 declarations. You don't need a quote affidavit. You don't need it notarized. You need somebody to say, I signed it under penalty of perjury, saying you're a good person, your employer, your neighbor, your friend, your pastor, whatever, and other contributions. Maybe you served in the military. Maybe you have property ownership. And of course, Vanessa is calling me. What am I screwing up, Vanessa? Vanessa, what am I screwing up here? Well, that's not possible. I'm literally live right now. Is no live? Well, I guess it'll be posted when it goes up. I don't know what's going on because my stream is live and my internet is live. Well, really? Well, that is very weird because it's still recording and says it's live here. You sure it's not you? Take a picture and text it to me. All right, thank you. Oh, no, there it is. It just came up. We're having problems streaming to Facebook. This may be an issue on Facebook's end. That's what it says. Is it possible the stream was ever deleted on Facebook? So Facebook's having an issue, but everything else is live. Okay. All right. Thanks. All right. Looks like Facebook screwed up. Not me, by the way. My video is live. Thank you, Vanessa Garcia, Dreamers Together. By the way, if you have DACA, you should be on Dreamers Together. Vanessa's awesome, always watching out for me because I have screwed up in the past. But there is a problem with Facebook. So all you on Facebook that are watching this, I will be posting this on YouTube, and it's on Twitter and LinkedIn. But classic Facebook screwing everybody over. In any event, you want to put additional evidence on your with your naturalization application. All right. The next piece here is that I want to talk about, also very, very important. Let me take this down here. We want to talk about the student visa revocation lawsuit, which is going to be filed. Probably we're trying to file it by Friday. We have issues with 4 plaintiffs that we can't get a hold of, that we need to clarify information on. Everything else is ready to file in DC. We're ready to go on it. But we've got to clarify these issues with these 4 plaintiffs before we file, and my colleagues at SISC and Susser are finalizing that with me, and then we'll be filing hopefully Friday before I leave for Peru. Otherwise, my colleagues will file it on Monday while I'm out of the country. I'm going to be out. By the way, I'll be doing this live next week from Peru. Again, Peru, it's a great country, and we'll be talking in Spanish next week. All right, so the F1 visa revocation lawsuit is being filed next week, hopefully Friday, if we can clarify these issues. Now, the big topic that everybody wanted me to cover, of course, was the DACA lawsuit. We were going to file that last Tuesday. And it's prepared. It's ready to go. It's all ready to go. And as I talked about in Spanish last week, maybe it was last Thursday I was going to talk. I forget what it was. But on Tuesday, they sort of reach out to me and say, hey, we hear you're going to file. These are the 14 attorney generals around the United States that sued to save DACA back in 2020. That are part of the part of the Texas lawsuit. They were the folks at United We Dream. Great folks who made the dream and made DACA possible. The folks at Dreamers Together, obviously very concerned about this, as well as a number of other groups that reached out because their primary concern was this. They said, Chuck, you're going to win for these unadjudicated 90,000 filers. You're going to win at the district court level, and the government's going to appeal, and you're going to win at the Circuit Court of Appeals. Their concern was getting on what's called the shadow docket at the USCIS and having the Supreme Court just end DACA without any argument. Because they made clear that the administration wants to end DACA. They all acknowledge the administration wants to end DACA. But they politically cannot end DACA. They politically can't do it. Because it would be a political nightmare for them, especially with the election 15 months away for control of the Senate and the House. They are terrified of ending it for them, but they're thinking at the court to end it. Now, I don't agree with them that the Supreme Court would rule against us. I don't agree with them on that. And, but the good lawyers have disagreements. I respect their opinion. But then last either Monday or Tuesday, a video came out that featured the head lawyer from MALDEF talking about their DACA case. And I want you to review this. I'm going to share this with you. And hopefully you can both see and hear this screen. This is from YouTube. This is Tom Sainz. There's a little intro here. I don't know by whom. This is from Carlos Eduardo Espina. Okay, it's from Carlos. So he's talking to Tom Sainz, and I want to play this for you. It's just a minute long, and see what he says. It's something important that impacts our clients. Oh, why is that not in audio? Let's see. Oh, that's why. There we go. Now, did you catch that? He said the government will soon have to accept new applications. Don't file now. Some lawyers are filing now. That's just stupid. And adjudicate all applications. Now, that said, you just saw the discretion memo that they're talking about. So I emailed Tom as part of a group I was on and said, what's this mean? What does soon mean? What does that mean? A week? Does that mean a month? Does that mean a year? What does soon mean? And I don't have a response yet. I don't have a response from Sainz or anybody else about this. But all of this information, including other things that I will not talk about publicly, compelled us to have a call with all of we invited every DACA client that hired us, the DACA applicant client. We had about 250 of the 500 or so clients on the call. We sent the others an email about what we're doing. We concluded that for now, until the case in Texas is briefed, we would not file. Now, what we told our clients, if you want your money back, perfectly fine. We'll send it right back to you. You can rejoin later when we decide to file. That's perfectly fine. I know, we tried to charge the most minimal amount of money we could to get this done, but we did need to charge to account for the time we're spending on this. And the money just sitting in the bank now. We haven't distributed or paid anybody else paid anybody from it. So we decided we're going to wait. And now that when we talked last week, that meant the last Wednesday in September. Well, after that, the Judge Hannon moved that deadline to the last, I think the 28th of October, because the head lawyer in that case for the government, Lindsay Vick, she quit. She's no longer with the government, and they needed to get new lawyers up to speed on the case. Perfectly understandable. I get it. I don't think you can complain about that. I can complain about the fact that we didn't file, think it would only be another month when it's really 2 months. And I was also concerned with these individuals. I mean, you're out there vulnerable without DACA, you're vulnerable to ICE. And it just breaks my heart. I was talking to one of the lawyers I talked to. She's really a wonderful lawyer. I'm not going to disclose who she is. She is actually one of the head lawyers in the original DACA case from 2020, which, by the way, is still active. And immediately on the Fifth Circuit's decision, she wanted to do what we did, what we put together. And all these folks talked her out of it because they basically said, we could lose everything. We could lose everything. And she says, I cried. And I get it. I didn't cry. I got pissed off. But I get it. I get it, because we want to help the 90,000 that got screwed by the Biden administration, who could have adjudicated the vast majority of these applications. Now, I also heard, by the way, as part of the background information, that immigration did do background checks on everybody, but most of those background checks were done in 2021. So even if a judge ordered the adjudication, it's probably going to be no faster than 90 days from that date, because they got to go back and redo all of the application, all the background checks. So that's our DACA lawsuit. It's on hold for right now. It's ready. Literally, we could file it tomorrow. But again, if you're part of that lawsuit, you want your $500 back, just write to the website, Impact Immigration Litigation, and we'll take care of that for you. But for now, we're just kind of holding in a holding pattern, ready to file when the time is primed. But what we don't want to do, and I represent thousands of DACA recipients. I don't want to put them at risk either. I would never put them at risk. At the same time, we represent hundreds of folks who filed for DACA in 2021 and didn't get it. And we want to get their benefit. And it's clear to me, and even to my colleagues, that, yeah, the lawsuit's going to win. They're just terrified of what will happen when the government appeals to the Supreme Court, which could happen very quickly through the shadow docket. So that's our issues for today. Let's take a look at the questions that we have. And again, sorry for all you Facebook folks that disappeared. Holly wanted me. I talked about all those things, Holly. We're in good shape. I talked about the N400 memo, the discretion memo on on immigration decisions, and social media vetting. What do you think about the Morrison case versus Trump? I love Curtis. Curtis has got a gigantic set of huevos, as they say in the old country. And I think his case is great. He's got some discovery already about the bans. And we're going live, I think, by Friday on our K-1 ban for Iranian K-1 visa holders, fiancés whose spouses are citizens or fiancés are from Iran, and they're being denied visas and interviews. We're going to sue on that. That's going to go live for sign up here, hopefully by Friday. Howdy, Alfredo. Good to see you. Josue. If I get a request refund, generally the money is immediate. If you're paid by credit card, it's just credited immediately. It's really just on your credit card company. Not hard to get back. And you can just rejoin the lawsuit. All right. That's what we're doing. Normally, we would never do that, but this is a very unique circumstance. So, yeah, you can get your money back. Not a problem. You answer emails fast. See, Alfredo knows. Big fan. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Hello, Mr. Cook. And Edgar, how are you? Any of you not getting regular advance parole? No, we just got 3 yesterday. It took 7.5 months, but we got them. They're still giving advance paroles, 100%. JJ knows about the scourge of McCarthyism. These guys, it's like they didn't learn the lesson in 1954. 70 years passed, and these guys want to relive history. This is what they mean by making America great again, by the way, which is bringing back McCarthyism. Screw them and the horse they rode in on. I'm a 2021 pending DACA. Yes, I got an email today. They've taken action on my case. I would love to see the email, K41. Why don't you forward it to me? I'd love to see that. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see what they did. That kind of interesting. New Jersey, why are so many lawyers who take case people with deported orders in absentia? I don't know. You got me. We take them. I mean, we're winning them. So, I mean, the judges didn't change. I mean, yeah, they've got different marching orders, but good cases are always going to be approved. In fact, one of my amazing attorneys today just won asylum today. So, they're granting cases for good lawyers doing good work. Todavía se están acusando. Yes, sí, Rayo todavía puede aplicar por el permiso de viajar. Juan Vegas, hello, Charles. Thanks for everything you do. I have DACA, legal entry, advance parole, marriage, with a false document as a minor. Well, first of all, if you entered as a minor with a false document, you do not need a waiver because you can't commit fraud as a child. You're golden. Just follow the adjustment. Make sure you bring a lawyer to your interview, and if you call us, we're happy to help, but you do not need a waiver. In my opinion, if you were under like 15, you don't need a waiver. You can't form the requisite intent, especially if you were under like 10. You definitely can't form the requisite intent. So you're golden. Let's see. We've got read a book. Reposted the stream. Thanks, read a book. Natalie. And are you current yet? For those of us with upcoming interviews, we'll having posted something to disagree with the community. I would close out all of your social media, Natalie. You do not want to have anti-Trump stuff, anti-administration stuff on your social media if you're going for a green card interview. Just delete it. See, I got rid of it. I didn't want to have it anymore. It was destroying my life. Boom. Get rid of it. Do what you want when you get your green card. Catherine, actually, I wouldn't. I would wait till you're a citizen. I joined the DACA litigation. I applied for my husband. Our litigation doesn't impact the DACA case. Now, Catherine, I'm guessing you don't have a legal entry. So something you need to be aware of. Another memo, which we talked about previously, which is if you file an I-130 and you are undocumented, there's a strong possibility that USCIS will put you in removal proceedings. Now, I don't know when. I don't know if they'll do it at the beginning when they file or when they adjudicate it. But you understand there's now a risk in doing this. Just be aware. Okay. Katie Alvarenga, my mom has a final order. She's waiting for I-130. Do you think it's too risky for her to go to interview? Since she found does she have the parole in place already? If she's got the military parole in place, she's fine doing the interview. If she doesn't have the military parole in place, generally they're not arresting moms at that, but they could because she has a final removal order. So if she doesn't have well, first of all, how do you get military parole in place with a final removal order? You can't get military parole in place with a final removal order. You can't. Who's doing this for you? You should call us. This is crazy. Does this apply as a U.S.? No, as an American, I love your picture, Chelly. No, you're fine. You can be as anti-Trump as you want. Some people have started getting approved 45 with the deportation order, still open. With the legal entry advance parole, you just need to move to reopen. You need to reopen your removal order and terminate it. So yeah, we've had clients do this. Absolutely, because immigration considers the advanced parole as being an arriving alien, and arriving aliens can adjust status even with removal order, which is why you file a 212. Is it me? The stream froze. Yes, Alfredo. I don't know if you're back or not, but apparently, Facebook went down. Not us. Facebook went down. Oh my goodness, Facebook. Gloria, Facebook is out. Sharon link to join. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. Mr. Cook, do you take immigration course? We do take immigration course from around the country for motion practice. So yeah, we're happy to help, Andrew. Natalie, thank you for this info. American yes, you should. Well, if you're not going to close it, Natalie, at least purge it. Yeah. You can't criticize this administration. These people have skin so thin that you can see through it. They're little crybabies. They're afraid of their own shadow. They're cowards. So yeah, you shouldn't insult the president. Oh my God, he's so thin-skinned. Rulio Habita, a mi hijo se le expira su residencia condicional en 2 años, diciembre de 2025. ¿Cuándo se recomienda enviar la moción recambiar? Lo manda empezando en octubre. His son has his 90 days en septiembre, 90 días antes. Póngalo. So his son has a conditional residence. He's asking when he should remove the conditional residence, and you do that 90 days before the expiration. Yeah, Hernandez, this was, you're on Facebook because Facebook ended. Facebook did something. Yo quiero hacer ciudadano, me pueden ayudar y quisiera saber si los más ahora. Las preguntas no son más difíciles. Dicen, can I become a citizen? Is it harder now on the questions? The questions aren't harder, but they will get harder. Okay, they will get hard. Van a ser más duro, pero debe poner su aplicación ahorita. They're going to get harder. File your application here. None of your business. You're back. Would they ask for social media accounts when we renew DACA? They haven't amended the application yet. I suspect that they will. But keep in mind, they're using AI very aggressively. And your email address is in your DACA application, and you can probably find most people's social media using AI, the access that they have to AI. So, yeah, you definitely want to clean your social media if you're a DACA person. I have my consular interview in October. How much time? You should be there about 3 weeks, Chito. 1 to 3 weeks maximum. Bring dollars. You know, dollar is the currency in truly, they don't have local money anymore. And everything's expensive in El Salvador. So bring dollars. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's also very safe, by the way. Hello, I have DACA. Did advanced parole in 2023. Just got married last month. My husband's a USC. When can I start the process? Now. You do it now. Mitzi, you should have done it last month. The day you got married. Call us and we'll help you. Congratulations on your marriage. Totally awesome. Johnny Johnson, Mr. Cook, general question regarding spending adjustment of status from B2, no prior stay. So here's my thing, Johnny. I do not think you should be asking for a combo card on a regular, straightforward adjustment. I don't. Because we have heard kind of crazy stuff out of some ports of entry where they've denied entry to people. Now, there may have been fraud involved there, but why? The green cards are being approved in like 6 or 8 months. Just wait. Unless there's some dire emergency, I recommend that you don't apply for advanced parole, but if you get it, that you do not travel. That's my opinion. There, you take it for what it's worth. David Lincoln, do you have to make briefings to talk about first-time applicants? So when do you think they would start approving? Well, that's what I don't know. I mean, you saw the video, David. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know when that's going to be, but we're going to find out. Argentino, how long do you think it would take the judge of Texas to move on DACA? Well, final briefings are in October. I'm sure he'll have oral argument. I would be shocked at this point. I thought they'd be done by August, but clearly I was wrong. I'm thinking January. He's going to slow walk it. He's going to slow walk it, the whole thing. I understand, by the way, with some inside info, that he is really pissed off that he got slapped down by the Fifth Circuit. He's really pissed off and embarrassed. So we'll see. Johnny Johnson, back again. Another question about traveling inside the U.S. If you have a valid work authorization document, you should not be detained by the Immigration Service. Can they? Yes, they can. But they shouldn't be wasting their time doing that because you're adjustable. And most of them know that. So you should always carry your work authorization with you because it shows your valid status. Hola, Cook. I was out of the country for 10 months in 2019. My needed for the 5 years of July. So here's the deal, Sass. The rule is for naturalization. If you're out of the country for a year or longer, you've abandoned your residence. If you're out between 6 and 12 months, it's presumed that you've abandoned your residence, but you can rebut that presumption. So you have to be prepared to deal with that presumption against you that you've abandoned your permanent residence. And that should be in your filing letter. So make sure you hire a lawyer to file your application. Kiko Huerta. Kiko, Quillanton entry. Friend was waived through as a minor. Birth certificate, do they need 601A waiver? They do not, because a minor cannot commit fraud. So there you go. But immigration may argue if he used a U.S. passport, a U.S. birth certificate, that it's not, even if that it's not valid because it was fraud in the entry, although he's not responsible for the fraud. I would be very careful. I personally would not file that Quillanton entry. I wouldn't file that. I wouldn't disclose that. I just wouldn't do it. I'd find some other way. Luca, many so-called rule changes are continuation, and yes, they are. They are 100% a continuation, and they're designed to make legal immigration harder again, as it was the first time he was president. What's your email? So continue the USCIS email. My email for everybody who wants to know, because again, as I said earlier, you can email me anytime, and I answer all my emails, and I answer them usually generally quickly at ccook@immigration.net. It's my email, ccook@immigration.net. You can also contact me through our website. We have a chat, www.immigration.net. And of course, you can DM me on the old Twitter machine at ccook. And finally, you can always call us for an appointment. I mean, just 404-816-8601, or make that appointment on our website. Whatever generally works for you, you can absolutely do that. Let's see. A couple more questions. Veronica, do I need a lawyer for the interview? Veronica, I'm going to be honest with you. Under Biden, I would say no. Under Trump, I'd say yes. And there is no harm in having a lawyer with you, because here's the lawyer's job. Excuse me. Lawyer's job is to make sure that the USCIS officer does their job in a responsible and polite manner, which doesn't always happen when a lawyer's not there. That's why you have a lawyer with you. Not that the lawyer's going to answer questions. He will also prepare you, which is also good. So the outcome of the DACA meeting with the state AGs, I just talked about that earlier. Is it over? No, it's not over, Sonara. It's just that Facebook screwed up. My 751 was approved in 6 months with no interview. Hoping the same good news for other petitioners. Congratulations. That's actually a miracle. We've got some pending for 3 years. So congratulations, Ella. Totally awesome. You must have put together a great package. 2 new hobby. Have you seen 6 months approved? It doesn't. Yeah, I've seen that. Because finance is the least important. Finance is the least important factor on hardship. Hardship is really mental, social, and physical. That's really the factors. Have posted anything, but I've sure commented on people's posts. Will that affect anything? Tito, if you're traceable, which you would be, you might want to delete those posts. I'm just saying. Jorling, I'm applying for advanced parole to get legal entry from Nicaragua. Would it be safer to travel to Canada to get legal entry? You can travel anywhere. It doesn't matter. I mean, you probably need the problem is you probably need a visa to go to Nicaragua, to Canada. So Nicaragua may be the only place you can go. So either way is fine. Attorney, what does it mean October 28th? That's on October 28th, the final briefs will be given to Judge Hannon. So all the parties will have answered his questions, and we'll get a better idea of the government's position on these pending applications as well, because that will have to be disclosed and discussed in there. So that's what we're waiting for. Francisco, is it safe to travel out of the country with additional green card? Yes, you're perfectly fine unless you were arrested for something. But if you haven't been arrested, go. You'll have a great time. Really, it'll be awesome. I need to get a deportation order. Do I need to get a deportation order closed? I don't know, because I don't know the rest of your case, Carol. Spousal case at embassy stage. 2 weeks. No, it's great. Oh, go in and submit it now, Sandy. You should be able to submit it now. Get to the board and bring it with you. Bring a certified copy with you, but get it in now. How did you get documentarily qualified without that? That's crazy. Check my documentation. It says the case is going to take 21 months precedent. Well, that's interesting. I mean, basically, we're getting near the end of the Trump administration at that point. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. Thanks for so much for answering my question. You're welcome. I was 8 minor. Yeah, so you're fine, Juan. You're good. When should I renew my E2 visa? 6 months for expiration. 6 months before expiration of the I-9. You're talking about the visa stamp? You can only renew that about I think it's 3 months before it expires, depending on your country. The I-94 card, you can amend and extend 6 months beforehand. So there's 2 different things you're asking about there, Flodlin. Juan Vegas, see not heard. There was an issue with, there you go. Should I be worried? I'm going on vacation to D.C. Well, as long as you've got lawful papers, you got DACA or whatever, ODL, you're fine. What a joke. I mean, turning our nation's capital into a war zone. What a bunch of idiots. What vain, really miserable human beings, all cause a juvenile big boys got beat up in a carjacking by 15-year-olds. Yeah, all because of big balls. They are doing them all. Thank you. Carol, do I have AP? Can I have AP? Yes, you can. Carol, you can have advanced parole. You have a deportation order. Well, thank you very much, Thiago. Hannah, you guys are way too kind. I just clicked the button. I don't read them beforehand. Can I do a P? Yes, you can, Carol. Do you know anything about the DACA recipients that were arrested and taken to ICE custody? I don't, other than one of them, he was arrested. One of them had an arrest for a criminal issue and then was arrested by ICE. And DACA can be revoked for any reason. The discretionary, they can revoke it. So I imagine they may have revoked his DACA already. But beyond that, I don't know. Do you think the Dignity Act has a chance? No. They're never voting on it, Ashland. It's never going to have a vote. Never. Not while Speaker Johnson's in the House. There's not going to be a vote. Just not. Is it safe for DACA recipients to drive within the U.S.? Yes, you're fine. Your documents are fine. You carry your work card and your DACA approval with you. You're fine. None of your business is back. But if a minor can't commit fraud, can a minor enter? Well, that's really part of our lawsuit that we're going to be doing here shortly. Thank you. Would it be acceptable to carry a foreign passport and receipt notices in it? No, it would not be acceptable because a receipt notice in a foreign passport just shows you're undocumented. An EAD says you're actually kind of documented. I know you don't want to carry it. Make a photocopy and carry a color copy with you. Hi, Charles. Why would the court change my online mass hearing to in person? Why are you still in proceedings, Karen? Why are you still in proceedings? I don't know why they would do that. I mean, they kind of stopped arresting people in court a little bit, at least here in Atlanta. I would need to know more about your case, Karen, to figure that one out. That makes no sense. My bigger question is why your lawyer isn't moving to terminate your case. That's what I don't know. My conditional residence expires soon. Every file, you can file yourself. If you used to have DACA, you're fine. I mean, it's not. Just make sure you include lots of evidence of your marriage. Alfredo, when they screen social media, you think they will contact you? I think they can do that anyway. They don't need the social media. Their access through this AI stuff, they don't need to contact the companies. So, yeah, they can know who you associate with. Trust me, they know. Kiko, what is the point of cancellation removal? Do you think someone with kids 20 plus years here? To win cancellation of removal with kids that are under the age of 21, you have to show exceptional and highly unusual hardship. Basically, your kids have to have cancer, or you have to be a single mom with 6 kids. It's hard. They only grant 2% of those cases. They're really hard to win. Spiros, good to see you. How long does it take your oath of allegiance to be scheduled? After your interview, if you've passed the interview, usually it's 2 weeks, if not the same day. Why is the current strategy to delay the decision on DACA? I think you've answered your own question. That is their current strategy. They don't want it. Nancy Cruz, is it still safe as a permanent resident to submit an application for a document spouse? No, it's not safe for your spouse. Safe for you, but it's not safe for your spouse because, as I said it earlier, they're saying they're going to file. They're going to put somebody in removal proceedings, issuing notice to appear in immigration court for people who don't have legal status when they apply for legal benefits. I mean, it's outrageous, but that they're legally allowed to do it. Sue, hello. I had 2 DUI arrests more than 10 years ago. Proof for green card in 2023, currently filing, got global entry. Oh, you're fine. You're fine to travel, Sue. Have a great time. Elizabeth, do you recommend to wait for that one under this current administration until 2028? As of right now, Elizabeth, I think you were the one whose husband's undocumented. I would wait. I would just wait. We don't know yet. The policy's new. I haven't seen any NTAs yet, but I don't trust them. So, Daniel Abraham, does reaching out to Congress require? Yeah, it does help occasionally, depending on the case, but it does help. Elizabeth, will everything that applies for someone get an NTA? Well, first of all, if let's say your I-130 is approved and you file for 601A, presumptively they could do that, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, that was part of their memo. They can do that, which obviously defeats the purpose of a 601A. But they know that. They all want to put as many people. The guys running the USCIS now, they hate immigrants. They just hate immigrants of all types. They don't care if you're legal or illegal. They hate people that don't look like them. You know, you're not from the fatherland. So you're not from the UK. They don't want you around. That's it. Yeah, I just be careful. Do you have any volunteer positions for people out of state? I do not, Thiago. We don't really have volunteers. We have employees. Can Honduras TPS drive right now? Yeah, Honduras TPS is still valid. I sent you the email. Great. I'll get back to you when we're done today. My lawyer is waiting for mine to be approved, but it'll still be 2 years since it was submitted. That's strange. 2 years is a long time for I-130s, for spouses. How long does USCIS take to get certificate for 41 once they have all documents ready? That depends on the person, Ron. I've seen them do it in a week. I've seen them do it in 2 years. It just depends. Completely unpredictable. My E2 expires in July 26. Visa going to travel to Canada this week. So the visa renewal, you should start sometime in March, and you want to submit it to the consulate sometime in probably May. Does reaching out to Congressman help? Yes, it does. Great. That's all our questions for today. We had a great turnout, even though Facebook turned us off. What's the deal, Facebook? Maybe Zuckerberg doesn't like correct information. By the way, you remember a couple weeks ago, I was out because I was in New York City, and I was recording an episode of Wired's Tech Talk, or Tech Answers. I think it's Tech Talk, and that should air the first week on Wired and on their YouTube channel of September. And where I answer, it's like this: I just answer about 50 questions that they picked out from Twitter, and some of them are crazy, some are hilarious, some are very pointed, and some are very informational. So I'd encourage you to check out that Wired episode, and of course I'll put a link up as soon as I get that link. A couple more questions right here. Ryan, can someone do full-time college on E2? Yes, they can. Any updates on endorsed CPS? No, there's nothing new. It's still under court rule. I think they're going to extend it. Let's say if you're waiting for someone and you get an NTA, I think the 61 keeps processing, and then you'll just get but what you'll do at that point is just take voluntary departure. If you don't have your 61A by the time the court comes, then you'll leave and wait abroad. Going to apply for N400 in November at speed tickets for dismiss. How many speeding tickets, JD14? If someone has current DACA, does that protect them from an NTA? It should. Yes, it should. All right, everybody. Again, you want to reach me, 404-816-8611. You can find us at www.immigration.net. And again, you can call us for an appointment at 404-816-8611. We'll see you again, Charles. We'll see you next Wednesday live from I think probably Pisco, Peru, down on the beach. And we look forward to seeing you then. Have a great week. Bye-bye.